Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey Troxel. I want to start off the show by thanking our financial supporters, Patreon and PayPal members. Without them, we could not put the show together. If you've ever seen the show and thought, how can I help? How can I be part of this? That's how you can help. You can become a financial supporter. There's a link below this video on how you can get started with us. Financial supporters do get some like Patreon only and PayPal only content that's only available to them. That's not on YouTube. And they get the videos up to 48 hours early, depending on how fast I can edit them after I'm done here. So they get a kind of a free preview, which gives me time to interact with them because I don't have hundreds of comments. I've just got one or two because they can comment a few days before anyone else and I'll see it. So link below if you're interested in helping us do that. The other thing I'd like to say is that this channel is not behind a paywall. Everything on it is free. Every now and then there's a sponsor segment, but all the recipes, everything is free. All my stuff on Cronometer is free. All my website recipes are free at www.plantbaseddads.net. Take advantage of all of that. We're not behind a paywall. There's no memberships involved. And hopefully, because of all that, I can ask you to hit that subscribe button, click that bell, and help support the channel. All of this takes a lot of work. It's a full-time job on top of my full-time job. And you subscribing to the channel really helps me to be able to do that. So please subscribe and help me do what we're doing. All right, so I think what we're gonna do today is a day of food. It's Saturday, which is when I seem to record these videos, and they have to be edited and out to the Patreon members by Sunday morning. So it's just an all-out blitz on Saturday. It is like 12:30 in the afternoon. I was up late editing last night and trying to get some stuff done for work, and I could not sleep. And the problem is when I came home from work yesterday on Friday, I took a nap, which I can't do because that messes up my sleep cycle at night. So I was laying in bed till like 4 in the morning just waiting to fall asleep. It was miserable. So I gotta stop taking naps when I get home. I normally don't because of that, but Friday wasn't a gym day and I was just exhausted. My work does wear me out. Having 100-something kids every year is a lot of work. As much as I love the job, it definitely like takes everything I have. So that messed up my sleep cycle and it's late in the day. So I'm going to start off with my chocolate peanut butter pancakes. I love these things so much. They're a lot of fun to eat. The chocolate chips on top and the peanut butter. They're really good macros if you're trying to get enough protein. If you can make these without the protein powder if you don't need extra protein. This of course is now a high protein channel, so I won't be doing that. I'll be adding the protein, but you can adjust it as you need to. All right, let's get started. One of the cool things is that all of my recipes here are in my recipe book, which I need to make a cookbook, I guess. And they're available to you. This exact page is available to you. It has the whole recipe on it. On the back are all the macros. www.plantbaseddads.net. It's just my recipes. There's no long story about, you know, how I came up with this recipe and my family and my dog. It just shows you the recipes. If you go to recipes, you look for the one you want, you click on it, up comes the recipe, and there's a PDF page where you can click on that, and it'll create that page right there, a PDF that you can print, send to your printer, and put in your cookbook at home, and that's it. There's you know, there's a lot of work I put into that to make sure that you have something printable, make sure I have something printable for the recipe if you're interested in doing that. And I share all of this stuff on Cronometer, so if you're tracking your macros and you make this recipe, if you and I are friends in Cronometer, you can go to food, add food, and put in Joey Troxel, chocolate peanut butter pancakes, whatever the recipe's called, and up will come that option to add it to your food, and it will automatically add the macros for this recipe right to your diary, which is amazing. So find me on Cronometer, it's plantbaseddads@gmail.com. It is a feature of the paid version of Cronometer. However, if you have the unpaid version, you'd like me to friend you, because I can friend anyone, even if you're unpaid, then send me an email, plantbaseddads@gmail.com, with your email that you're using for Cronometer, and I'll add you on my side, and then we can still share all the macros without you having to be a paid member. I just got the paid membership because it's a really small price per year, and I use that thing every single day, so it's totally worth it. All right. First thing that my recipe says is I'm gonna need a half a cup of oat flour. I am doubling this recipe because it's Saturday and I wanna have these throughout the week. So I'm using a whole cup of oat flour right here, but the recipe is a half a cup. I don't buy oat flour. I've got 11, 12, 15 different flours. Don't get me started. So I just put oats in the Vitamix and blend it up, and there you go. Next, I'm gonna add a quarter of a cup of wheat flour, or just whatever all-purpose flour that you have. After that, I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of flax meal or ground flaxseed. Actually, it's 1 tablespoon, but I'm doubling the recipe, so the recipe is 1 tablespoon. Trying to say the recipe and double it for what I'm doing, it's not going very well. Again, the whole recipe will be at plantbaseddads.net. Next, I'm adding a teaspoon of baking soda and then a teaspoon of baking powder. And now I'm just going to whisk all this together just to kind of get it combined before I put my wet ingredients in. There's a lot going on here. Actually, I forgot the most important part. We're going to use 2 scoops of chocolate protein powder. I'm doubling it, so I'm going to use 4. I'm using Earth Chip because they're the best. They're clean ingredients. There's a link below this video on how you can save 10% on all your orders. And if you order over $45, it's free shipping. All right, so the recipe calls for 2 scoops of that. There you go. Now I'm going to sift together here, or whisk together, to get it combined. I was whisking and I was like, this doesn't look chocolatey. What am I missing? And that was it. Oh man, the chocolate powder smells really good. I normally don't ever use these glass bowls to do this because the sides are so low and I absolutely hate it. I use the metal bowls, but since I'm filming, I have a second camera so you can see in the bowl. I'm using these glass bowls, but I hate these glass bowls. All right, so I've got my powder all mixed here, so I'm just gonna put a little hole in the middle here. Now I can start with my wet ingredients. All right, I'm popping in a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then 1.5 cups of plant milk. I am using the Silk touch of almond cashew milk, just because it's really low in calories. So I'm gonna pop that in. I'm doubling it, so it'll be 3 cups. And then just take a large spoon and mix this together. I don't use a whisk at this point because nobody wants like really thin pancakes. They just don't fluff up. So I whisk the dry ingredients together, but when it comes time to make the actual batter, when the wet stuff's in there, you just want to use a spoon for that. And I'm just going to kind of mix all this till it gets combined here. All right, looks like it's pretty combined. Now, it's really thin for the batter, so you kind of have to let it sit for like 15 minutes. And then the flaxseed will do its thing and start thickening everything up. So I'm just going to set this aside for 15 minutes while I start putting together my grill. I'm using my Dollar Strong 12-inch Avalon Series skillet. I absolutely love this thing. It's a 5-flake copper core pan. It's absolutely beautiful. There's a link below where you can get your own Dollar Strong products. I did put a little bit of spray oil in here. I just put one kind of spritz and just use this little silicone brush to kind of move it around. I'm going to let that get hot, and then I'm going to put in about 1/3 cup of batter and see how that goes. You want the pan to be pretty hot so it cooks pretty fast. I like to do a little test pancake and see how that goes before I start committing to a whole pancake. Make sure there's no problem like with stickage and flipping and all that. Always got my cold bottled water with me. And you kind of see here it's starting to pull away from the sides. It's giving me a surface where I can flip, and it's starting to bubble on the top. So that's done. There I go. Pop it over, it looks really good. So my test pancake come along nicely. I do have a bag of chocolate chips here. So as I go through with the rest of the pancakes, I'm gonna sprinkle some chocolate chips in it. I didn't put them in the batter. I just kind of sprinkle them on the top as I'm making the pancakes, but you can do it either way. And that is looking good. I'm just gonna pop it off over here. I'm gonna use the silicone brush that has the oil already on it still, has the spray oil. I'm just going to move that around. I don't really need to add any more. You may need to scrape the bottom just to get any residue off from the other pancakes. And I'm ready to go to my next one. So now I'll start putting on the regular size. It's about 1/3 cup. It's going to be one nice kind of round pancake right about there. And I'll just keep moving on until I'm done. And then right here is when I'll just kind of throw in my chocolate chips. You can see here it's starting to bubble a little bit, and I mean the pan's deep over here, so maybe you can't see this, but the sides are kind of coming up, so this thing's ready to flip. Looking good. Nice pancake right there. We're just going to continue on with these until we've got them all cooked. And we got 8 beautiful pancakes here, plus a little baby pancake on top. Oh man, let's plate this up and dig in. All right, so the recipe makes 2 servings, and that's about 2 pancakes per serving. I've got a little extra right here. So here's how you have to eat this to get all the protein. Part of the protein in the macros comes from having a powdered peanut butter topping. Right here I'm using PB Fit. I just got this at Costco. And I've mixed up 5 tablespoons of the powder with water to give it kind of this runny, like peanut buttery topping. The 5 tablespoon goes on at 2 servings, so it should make 4 total pancakes, 2 pancakes per serving, and you'll split 2.5 tablespoons of each of this topping onto each serving, so that 5 tablespoons covers both of these. So that's, you know, if you don't use this and you won't get all the protein. If you're not interested in getting more protein, then you don't need this topping. You can just put maple syrup. So I'm going to kind of drip this on here and get a little bit of that over here. And I need to use like 2.5 tablespoons worth of this. There you go. And I like to sprinkle a few more chocolate chips on it just for decor, because why not? There you go. And there you have the finished product, a beautiful stack of chocolate pancakes with chocolate chips and peanut butter topping on top of it. So that gives you the chocolate peanut butter pancakes. Let's take a bite of this and see how it tastes. These are one of my favorite breakfasts right here. Oh yeah. If you like chocolate and peanut butter together, this is an amazing meal. So good. All right, that's breakfast. We have a lot going on today. Tim's got to hit the gym. I've got to run around and get some stuff. We'll be doing probably dinner at our favorite Mexican restaurant tonight. We've been going to Iron Chef for the last 2 weeks, and I think we're ready to hit our Mexican place. So we'll take you along with us. Let's see what's next.
Just got done with a shoulder workout and a light swim. So it's time for a protein smoothie here in the day. We're doing a green moringa, some garlic mango. This is delicious. We're gonna use 4 scoops of protein, so it's coming out. Got the macros right here. So we're at 392 calories for this smoothie. 43 grams of protein. So that fits the bill for me, especially on those days when you do a little bit more exertion than a regular work day. So, all right, let's get started. For Team Joey, please reference the measurements, the exact measurements in the listing. Otherwise, let's get going here. So you can see I've got mango chunks here. This, I believe, is 100 grams, but for Team Tim, it's about 1/3 of a bowl. Okay. There really isn't a Team Tim, I'm just being funny. Okay. Next we have the spinach. For Team Tim, a bowl or a packed cup. But again, that's like about 35 grams of spinach. All right, we have some more items to put in. Let's jump into the protein. Look, it's earth chimp. All right, so we're gonna do 4 scoops of this. This is the vanilla. Just works well when having the greens, I think, and the mango. All right, so this protein and mix that we're using, pretty clean. All right, there's a link below. You can save 10% with our code on that link. And then if you spend over $45, free shipping. Who doesn't love that? All right, next, little nugget of ginger. And then I have a teaspoon of moringa. Then I added a teaspoon of creatine. This is a good time to get that in. And 1 green apple. You can use a red. I think the green has it's a little bit lower in sugar. And then we're doing a cup of Silk cashew milk. Just found this is 25 calories for a cup. It's pretty low, but it's odd that it's cashews that has that kind of macro.
Are we not measuring anything?
It's just, hey, this is Team Tim. But 1 cup. Again, just enough moisture to cover everything here.
I want to zoom in so I can see the stuff pour out of the top there.
And it needs to make its way down to the bottom where the spinach is. And it will. I just hope it's enough. Okay. Let's get this beast going. All right, I think we're ready here. when it drips off the blade like that, I feel like it's running enough. Ooh, look at all that green goodness. Meringue is so good for you. And then add the spinach and mango. Excellent. All right. Classic mason jar we use. We found this lid straw system. There's a link below for the Amazon, but in case they run out, I'm not seeing this in stores. So Amazon, and then I think we got some on eBay as well. So between those two, but check out the link first if that's something you're interested in. This fits nice in the car, and I feel like it's a little bit more durable. So that's that. All right, already. Perfect. Time to go do laundry, guys. We'll catch you in a little bit.
All right, it's time for lunch. So lately I've been making, I don't even know what to call this. It's like seitan and potatoes with like a mustard sauce, and it is so good. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing right here. I've got my little skillet here, and I'm just gonna give it like a little spritz of spray oil. That's it, like a quarter of a second or whatever it is. I'm gonna turn this thing on and just get it on to low heat. I'm gonna be using my seitan here. And I made this in one of the other videos. There's a link to it right here. And it's just like using chicken, right? It's kind of just like this shredded chicken stuff that you can kind of see right here. And it works really good because it's so high in protein. So a serving of this is about, because I broke it up into 10 servings, or 13, I forget, and it came out to like 85 grams. So I'm gonna measure that out. On my scale right here, I'm gonna turn that on, and I'm gonna put on 85 grams right here. I guess I could have used a bowl. 73, and that's one serving of this. A serving will depend on how much how much gluten your recipe actually made. So I'm gonna pop this in here, and this is all cooked and everything. I don't need to cook it. I'm just kind of heating it up so I can get the sauce in there. I've kind of got this on low heat, maybe low medium. I just want to get this hot. While that's happening, I'm gonna make my sauce. I've just got like a little clear jar here. And the secret to this sauce is this Noble Made mustard barbecue sauce. This is like 15 calories for 2 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna take this and put it about 2 tablespoons. I'm just eyeballing it because even if I'm off a little bit, it's only 15 calories. So I'm not really too worried about it. And then I like to put a little water in it just to get more out of it. And you don't need to do this part, but I do. I'm gonna take some of this monk fruit sweeteners, 2 of these little packets, and pop it in there just to sweeten it up. So it's more of like a honey-like mustard sauce, vegan version. And I got my whisk, I'm gonna whisk that up. And that'll give like, I don't know, this barbecue mustard flavor to the seitan when I throw it over my potatoes. All right, so I've got that going there. And while that's doing its thing, I'm just gonna move my seitan around here. Remember, this is already cooked, so I'm just kind of heating it up to get it hot. Now's a good time to get my sauce in here because it's starting to stick. So I'm gonna take my sauce and just throw it right in. And the idea is for the water that I poured in there to thin it out to start like evaporating. So I'm just left with kind of the syrupy sauce. So I'm gonna move that around until I get that all done. Right there. I'm gonna give that a minute to cook. In the meantime, I've got a plate of 200 grams of yellow potatoes that I just threw paprika on, garlic, and garlic powder and onion powder, and that was it. I'm just gonna throw them in the microwave here for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, just to get them hot. I did cook these in the air fryer at 380 degrees I chopped them up into pieces for about 20 minutes, and they were ready to go. You can see this is kind of bubbling nicely here, doing its thing, looking good. As soon as the potatoes are done, I just dump this right on top, sprinkle some nooch, and I'll be ready to go.
This smells so good, I think I'll be ready to go.
Alright, so I'm going to shut this off. And you can see here a lot of the water has evaporated. Looking pretty good, huh?
Really good. It smells so good.
I've been making this all week. Alright, so here's what I do with this. I kind of just move the potatoes to one side, and then I kind of just dump this whole thing like right in here.
Okay.
All right, that's my protein right there. The potatoes give me all the other vitamins and minerals I need. All right. And then I got some nooch here, so I'm just gonna push this on top here.
On everything? Okay.
Yeah, and then I just kind of mix it up with the fork a little bit. I mean, I guess you really could throw it. Really, you could put the nooch in. You could put the nooch in when the nutritional yeast when we're stir frying it, right? When you're like heating it up. I don't know, I just like it on top. I kind of feel like I get more of a taste that way. And if you're not a big noochie fan, then maybe this isn't the way to do it. And you can totally leave the nooch off. But the nutritional yeast does add a bunch of protein to it. All right, it's looking pretty good, huh?
I'm ready to taste.
The only other thing I want to do is put some pepper on it.
Okay.
All right, the dish is a mess. It's like mustard everywhere. But the whole dish here comes out to 389 calories, 40 grams of protein for under 400 calories.
Nice.
That's really good. 55 carbs and 2 grams of fat. Normally, potatoes is kind of off our list, right?
It is off our list, but ladies and gentlemen, it's back on our list.
Because the seitan is so high in protein
and low in fat.
Low in fat, but low in calories, we can afford to add potatoes back in, right? So it's really helping us have more of a whole food meal. Let's give it a shot. I know you better be eating it, but it's just kind of this cheesy, proteiny, potatoy meal, right?
The saliva is already working because it smells so good.
It is absolutely delicious. Yum. This came together. You just saw it in like minutes, right?
Yeah.
And the reason it happened is because we pre-made 13 servings or 10 servings, whatever our seitan recipe was last week. We pre-made that. So we had that all week to do this. I made this all week for dinner, right? And then we had the potatoes already cooked and ready to go. I just threw this together, threw some sauce.
Yep.
5 minutes.
I had used that with sweet potato, and then we'd use that with just egg as well, with some veggies.
Yeah, absolutely delicious. All right, so that's our lunch right here. I don't know what to call this. Seitan potato, mustard barbecue seitan and potatoes, right?
Nice.
So good, and you need to give this a shot. All right, we'll see what the rest of the day holds for us, right?
Yep.
All right, we are headed to our favorite Mexican restaurant here. We just parked the car. We haven't been here in a few weeks. The last few weeks we've been going to Iron Chef for Japanese, and we're back here. So we'll show you what we get here. It's the same stuff every time we come here. We'll show you in a bit.
All right, so we've got a beautiful bowl of, or plate of, what is that called, fajitas? And then they got the sides. They put the cheese on the side. Normally the cheese is on there, but they threw it on the side. And then they've got the tortillas right here. These are So I asked for the ranchera beans, which they gave me, but they put cheese on it. Oh. Yeah, the ranchera beans are the vegetarian beans. So
it's on top. I'll scoop it off.
You can scoop that off. But I love their fajitas because they have broccoli, they have fry, they have carrot. I'm not a big steamed onions fan, so they have all of these other items on there that are actually really, really good. So that's pretty exciting. All right, even though they messed up and put cheese on the ranchera beans, Tim took all the cheese off, but it looks like it's melted right in there. I'm just going to have them to bring me a side of ranchera beans with no cheese on it. But they do have guacamole on that and salsa and all that. So anyway, I'm going to dig in and make some fajitas here, and then we'll catch you where we go next.
All right, so I'm at Sprouts right now. I cannot get chives anywhere. The dried chives, like the spice. Sprouts used to have it in the bulk section, and there's no chives. Everything else is there. So now I'm like right here at the actual spice area, and they have like many different brands of spices, and none of them have chives. Let me show you. You can see all of these racks of different spices and different brands and all that. None of them have chives. It's like there's a chive shortage. I mean, are you seeing like there's a chive shortage? Let me know in the comments below, but I can't find chives anywhere.
All right, it's the end of a long day. Oh, nice you show up.
All right, so I'm still full from dinner.
So, end of a long day. I'm going to scoop out some watermelon. This lasts for us for about a week.
So
refreshing.
I've been eating watermelon a lot of times I stay after school because I have clubs, right?
Yeah.
And I have to kill an hour and a half anyway to go to the train, and the train is right next door to the school, so I don't want to come home first. So I take watermelon with me. I take 300 grams of watermelon with me, which is like 90 calories, and I just eat that while I'm waiting, while I'm doing my clubs and waiting for the gym, whether it's table tennis or Skills USA, and that's kind of my pre-workout. And this is what we just do, like all week long. We have watermelon, right?
If it's cut and made like this, it's so refreshing to come home from work sometimes, and I'll have like 4 pieces. But it's hydrating. It's just very nice.
I just measure it all out ahead of time. I have 300 grams in each little container, and that's 90 calories. So, I mean, that's what I do.
Team Tim, you know you've got a tablespoon and just have a few, right?
Team Joey measures. All right, that's our video for today, a day of food. I know we eat like at the same restaurant every week, but we keep filming these things on Saturdays, and that's our family time with Lex. So, you know, that's
when do you get fajitas with broccoli or carrots in it?
I love those fajitas.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
All right, hit that like button, show us some love, click on the subscribe button, click on that bell, you get notified every time we have a video. Usually the dishwasher's on, usually every Tuesday. And leave a comment below. What do you think of the potatoes and the seitan recipe? One of my favorites. I've been just eating it all week. Let me know what you're doing with seitan. We'll see you next time.
That mustard sauce, full of flavor for so little calories. That's a winner.
All right.
Anyway, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.